Welcome back to Car Stuff P&W. This is Jesse, and this time we have an update on the Honda Civic. I posted a video a while back about the catalytic converter in this car blowing out when I was at PIR, and unfortunately I just hadn't been able to do anything about it. And so finally taking the time to take care of it. And so I'm switching to a bigger catalytic converter. That last one was a 2.5 inch. This beast is a 3 inch. It's also oval shaped, and so it's pretty wide. I'm hoping that's enough throughput for the exhaust gases. The rest of the exhaust is 2.5 inch. So I've got this this reducer piece. This is the rear bracket. It's a 3, and then this reduces from 3 inches to 2.5. Just fits in there like that. And then I got another 3-inch bracket for the other side. I'll pick that up. And then of course, where did I do with it? Oh, there we go. The original flange, not bracket, for the downpipe. Here's the downpipe. I got it wedged in there. That's for the wastegate. There's the turbo mount. It's super rusty. These bolts are nasty. I'm gonna have to get some new ones. But this thing, it might have been the original one, I'm not sure, but this thing was on there like that. And as you can see, there's a bunch of carbon on this lip, and you can see where I cut it off. This thing, this is a 2.5 inch. This is a 3-inch pipe. This was restricting my exhaust, so I had to, and it didn't match. It didn't match my other flange, this flange. So what I did was I ordered another one of these, and then I cut this guy off. And I'm in the process of welding this on. My welds aren't great. This is the first time welding stainless steel. These ones were from, I don't know, a couple days ago. And then these ones are today. I think I'm getting it dialed in. It's not perfect, but you know, it's on the inside. I'll file this down and it should be okay. So that's, yeah, so I'm welding a new flange onto the downpipe. And then I can build a new catalytic converter. And if you look at this is the old one. So here's our 2.5 inch, the cat, and this is another 2.5 inch flange. But I measured this is like 2 1/4. So this thing actually goes down before it goes back up. So this was probably restricting things too. So the hope is with 3-inch flange there, a 3-inch catalytic converter, and then necking it down to 2.5 right at the end. It should, in theory, spool up the turbo faster. Maybe the guy who put this together knew what he was doing and put these restrictions in so it would spool up faster, because I don't know. This is my first turbo, so I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah. That's where we are right now. Okay, now we've got the 3-inch flange welded to the end of the catalytic converter. The welds aren't like amazing, but they're not that bad. You know, like right there, that's actually, I think it's kind of decent. Like right here, like that looks pretty good. It isn't terrible, the worst thing ever. That's not super great. Some of this isn't so bad. And then on the downpipe, I finished, again, not great, but some parts kind of okay. But I think it's airtight, I hope. I checked it with light, and I think it's good. I'll probably smoke it eventually. There were some pinholes in this, in these welds, so I went over them again to kind of clean them up. I mean, it's not, it's still ugly, but you know, I feel like the holes are plugged up. So hopefully the little exhaust leaks that this thing seemed to have, maybe it'll be better. So yeah, so I matched this up earlier. It does a pretty good job of yep. That's not perfect, but yeah. So next is I need to reinstall this thing. I want to get some new screws or bolts because the other ones are pretty rusty and terrible. And then so yeah, once this is attached, then I can bolt this up here, you know, support the end of this, and then figure out what's going to happen at the end. I marked it out a little bit, and I only need like this much straight pipe to get to the reducer and then the 3-bolt flange right there. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, and now I got the downpipe hooked back up, the catalytic converter bolted on, and I'm trying to measure for the back end. It's about 3.5 inches to bridge the gap. And then I'll tack it all in place. Oh, I had to use this thread chaser on the on some of these holes for the downpipe because the bolts weren't threading. I also got these hex socket ones for the top 3, and then I got some new stainless steel bolts at the bottom as well, because these things are pretty nasty. I also got some new bolts for the this one to the wastegate. I had to pop this off in order to put this on correctly, but it's on nice and solid. So now I got to cut out that straight pipe. Okay, and now we've got everything all tacked up. I actually had to get a new flange. The holes weren't lining up well. The bolts ended up being at an angle, not flush. So I got a new flange. It's been about 4 days since the last little update in this video. And so this fits a lot better. And so I welded the reducer to the flange behind the nuts on all of them, and then ground them down, and then made sure that the nuts, I mean, they're not perfect, but they're pretty much flat. And then I tacked those into place, and then I put the straight pipe that I cut in place, tacked that, and then I got tacks on this side and on the other one. And so now I'm gonna pull it out. Okay, it's the next day. I ran out of gas yesterday, and then I got some more this morning, and I finished all the welding, everything. Some of it's okay, but you know, some of it's not great. But I used the light, and I didn't see any holes or anything anywhere. So I'm gonna hook this thing up, or connect it up, and then I've got a smoker here, and I'm going to, once it's all bolted back up, I'm going to use a smoker and see if we got any leaks. All right, I forgot to take a video of this earlier, but the catalytic converter is all bolted up. I used my smoke machine to test it, and I didn't see any smoke coming out of it. So I think this is good to go at this point. So the next thing I'm working on with the exhaust system is I had this thing for the exhaust tip just poking out. so it would, you know, put the exhaust past the lip. But as you can see here, I got a new one off of Amazon. Got it prepped to tack on there. Got a piece of metal in there holding it at the right gap. And so yeah, got a new exhaust tip and I'm going to tack it on. Okay, so now we've got the muffler removed from the car. You see where I've tacked it. This is actually an X-Force twin loop. It's a pretty sweet muffler. It's when you're, you know, cruising or idling, you know, it goes, you know, through here and around, and then it comes out. But the tube that you know is in here, that goes from here to here and from here to here, is perforated, so that when you know you're in wide open throttle, it just it bypasses this and goes straight, just straight through and out. It's based on the Mugen twin loop. They make a version of this that flips it so that you got your outlet over here and your intake over here, and then the loop goes a different way. And then they've got this is just a 2.25 in and out. They make a 2.5 inch, but it's the canister's rounder. At some point it'd be cool to get one, but we'll see. I think this should be fine. So the plan now is to weld this to here, fill in all the gaps as best I can. Okay, now it is welded all the way around. If you look down the barrel, you can't see any light coming from outside of it, so it should be good. It's going to be hidden by the bumper anyway, so you won't see this stuff, so it should be good. Okay, and it's all reattached under there like it was before, and it's done. I think it looks all right. It looks good. It's you know, straight, and the angle I think is right. So yeah, so that's the latest update on the Civic. It's got a new catalytic converter, 3-inch tubing, and a new exhaust tip. So give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you later.